Morning everyone, Wednesday, 7:48. It's raining. I think we've got a couple of days of rain. I guess the flowers and the farmers need it. Knackered, very tired today. Busy week. Today we've got a Renault Megane coming in. This is an interesting one. It's got a sat-nav. The screen is poleaxed. The unit doesn't work properly. It's really behind on software. There is no option for it because it is a sat-nav unit. We have the option of a Pioneer 64, an Evo 64, which is a chassis and a screen which can be separated. We have an extension cable and I have a fascia kit, and I'm going to make something work today. So we've got a Megane with a screen that sits on top of the dash. We've got a radio that's down in the bottom. We're going to put a fascia kit in, fabricate a mount for the top where the screen sits. We have an extension cable because the screen cable that Pioneer give you from standard is only big enough to get the screen in front of the radio, but we need to extend the screen cable somewhat, so we have the extension. And today is going to be a bit of a make it work day. Part of being an engineer is figuring out the impossible. It's not impossible, it's just going to take a bit of thought. So going to be a good day for fabrication and figuring stuff out. All I basically really need is the steering control box, the cam wiring to be the same, which is a gamble. I've not seen behind it yet, but we've ordered the right Renault kit for the right year. So fingers crossed they haven't changed the plugs too much. We can get the can working, we can get ignition, we can get steering controls, and the rest of it is left down to me to make it fit and work and look nice. See you in a bit.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Right then my dudes, let's have a little catch up. Oh, we're getting there. It's proving to be a pain in the ass. Clearly the CAN system for this car is different to the normal Renaults because the CAN bus doesn't decode the steering controls or the ignition feed, but we've got an ignition feed in the quad lock anyway. You've just seen me on the old time lapse. So we've got the Pioneer screen mounted. So we've used the factory bezel, widened it, opened it up so we can see the Pioneer logo, and obviously we've got access to the volume and stuff down the side. And then in the car itself, Pioneer stuff going in. Front speakers on this thing are blown. I have my extension cable run up to the top. I've got my GPS up there in the corner. And then everything runs down to what would be our unit, which is going to sit then inside the dash here as normal, but blanked off. We've got our fascia plate here. Just open this bad boy up. So here is our singled in fascia. So that's going to go in and take up what would be the gapping down there. with the Pioneer thing in the bottom. That'd be cool. So it's coming on. It's about lunchtime. Takes a lot of time reaming stuff out and then kind of filing it down so it doesn't look, you know, it's very hard to make a square straight line a not a straight line. Very easy. So lots of filing to get it to look even, which is cool. I'm happy with that. And then this little bad boy, once he's wired up, will sit. Let's just move them cables backwards. Just for a seckie. Then this thing will actually mount in the back like that. So you'll have a Pioneer in the dash. How cool is that? Wicked. I'm going to see if I can do anything with these steering controls. I'll probably get told from C2 that they're completely wrong for this kind of vehicle with the sat-nav stuff. But if we can get some of it working, even the volume, that would be really nice. If not, she's going to have to use the screen at the top, which is no biggie, but I'd rather it be better. Anyway, lunchtime, see you in a bit, bye. Right then everyone, some moments I do have my stroke of genius, and I think this is one of them. So this radio is not supposed to be in this car. This car is supposed to be on the can't do list. But we have our blank. Everything is normal. We have, this is not working. Steering controls are not working. Cam box is wrong. Confirmed by C2, the guys that make the lead. But put my card in. Start the car, Pioneer system comes on. So the only issue we've got, steering controls don't work. I'm not going to get them working because apparently it won't work. But instead, USB in the glove box. DAB aerial, microphone, CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless, old radio is all in the back there. We've got our extension, a blank, and the radio is technically behind here, but obviously the screen's up there. And there we go, just like that. Happy days. See you in a bit.
There are a lot of songs about the time, I must say. And so well done if you spotted the chain reaction today. It's back tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Right then my guys, end of play for Wednesday. Renault's just been picked up. They're over the moon. I'm over the moon. It looks fantastic, it works fantastic.
During parking mode.
Oh, yeah, that one's a good one.
And event detection recording.
Just let us shut up a minute.
Occurred.
So I basically showed some of the pictures to my Pioneer guy, the technical lad, and he basically was like, that shouldn't belong in there. Good skills, mate, well done. And I sort of said, you know, this is my task for today, is to make this thing fit. And he basically went, yeah, that separates the men from the boys. So to hear him say that, I was very, very proud of that. That's pretty cool. So it's in, it's working. She's taking the car away. She's going to come back in and get some speakers changed because the front driver's side one is kaput, and the front left-hand side one is barely working. So that's going to be a redo at some point. We're going to get some speakers in it for her. I'm just reversing the chaser in. I've got to watch the bikes. But yeah, end of play for Wednesday. A very good week so far. This was one of the jobs that we had coming in that was going to be a bit of a mind bender, a bit of a thought process on this one, just to kind of figure out how we were going to get everything working. And I'm pleased how it's turned out. It could have been a lot harder than it was, to be fair. But but it's testament of a good unit from Pioneer. The extension cables and all the bits and bobs, and a bit of method, a bit of thought, and it actually was really nice to do. Very time consuming, cutting the fascia and just getting the straight edge to look like a straight edge after you've cut it. That's kind of like the hardest thing. Behind it you have the screen, which has got its own straight edges, so if you have a non-straight edge next to a straight edge, it highlights the problem. So lots of filing, lots of sanding, trying to get it to look exactly how I wanted it, so you could get to the side buttons and see the Pioneer logo and see the screen. So all very, very cool, and I'm pleased, very pleased. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow we've got an L200 coming in, a Mitsubishi, which is having a Pioneer full fascia kit. I think it's already got an aftermarket camera, but we've got to interface with the Pioneer system that we're going to put in, because I think it's got the factory Kenwood and that's failed. Let me check on that one. Diary. Tomorrow. Let's have a little look. We ordered some kicker stuff as well tomorrow. No, we haven't. Sorry, I tell a lie. Ford C-Max tomorrow. He's got his own Pioneer kit and fascia, but he bought it off some guys who said that they couldn't fit it and they didn't know how to fit it. So he looked me up and was like, do you know how to do this? And I'm like, yeah, we've done tons of them. So he's coming in tomorrow for that. I think the Toyota's the day after. Mitsubishi, day after. But yeah, we've ordered some kicker stuff today. The new LX amps have landed, and I've ordered one. We've got some 200.4s coming in. We've also got a blue sub that's going to go in a Merc next week. Yeah, it's a busy, busy day. Very, very cool. It's going to be a good week. Good week. Yeah, Mitsubishi, that's on Friday. And then Saturday when Dan's back, we are stacked. Happy days. Right, sorry, I've waffled on. See you Monday. What? No, see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Oh, the knob's about.